Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. So, as you guys probably know, that not too long ago, there was a time, for the longest time actually, that comments were so rare on my videos. Communication on Twitter was even more rare than that, or just as rare. And now it's at a point right now where things are very, very consistent, and I can tell you right now, as a content creator that's been doing this for over 3.5 years, there's no feeling quite like coming home after a long day of work or whatnot. No feeling like coming home and seeing your Twitter feed and people talking to you and you wanted to respond, comments from videos. There's no feeling quite like it. And it's part of what has me hooked on this whole thing, to a sense, and I absolutely love it. Communication, in my opinion, is the secret sauce to success in pretty much everything. And that's not just the only reason why I love it. I just love communicating with people, period. I'm a people person, but at the same time, I can be one of those people that could be a person that is that can be completely alone for a while and be completely fine. But I certainly appreciate it, and it's very humbling to this day. And as of recently, the inspiration for this video, as of recently, people comment certain things to me that inspire me making a certain topic of a video, and that's where this one is coming from. So the thing is, everybody has their own definition of what makes a good Call of Duty and what makes a bad Call of Duty, or, you know, there's so many varying factors when it comes to this, right? And as of recently, I've had people comment to me, or a person comment to me saying, you know, this Call of Duty is severely overrated, or that Call of Duty is severely overrated, or this game feels more like Call of Duty, or that game feels more like Call of Duty. So, with that being said, in your opinion, because you guys are very vocal, and you guys, as I've said time and time again, and it's absolutely true, you guys have your own opinions and own personal experiences and points of view when it comes to this subject. And a lot of it is because of when you started to play Call of Duty. A lot of it is because of your own personal preference and taste, and your own personal experience, and your own opinion. So, basically, in your opinion, what I'm trying to ask you is, which Call of Duty do you think is the most underrated? And with all the different varying of flavors that we had in the last, what, 5 years or whatnot, I think it would be a pretty interesting subject to talk about, because there are also those younger people that started around the time, they started playing around the time when, I don't know, let's say Advanced Warfare came out. And let me tell you something about Advanced Warfare. When people, like, I have somebody that's a friend of a friend that is on my Xbox Live friends list, and he basically said that Advanced Warfare to him is not Call of Duty, because it did not feel or play like Call of Duty. I mean, it barely played like Call of Duty with the advanced movement and all. So, again, he had a very valid point to make. So, but for the people that actually started playing around that time, around when Advanced Warfare came out, they may disagree, or they may have different points of view, which is respectable. There are people out there that will literally judge a game based off of its graphics over its gameplay. There are people out there that will judge a game based off of the exact opposite of its gameplay over its graphics. And there are those people that just are a little bit more particular in terms of what makes a Call of Duty better. Particularly the people that have been, this is more evident in people that have been playing for a while, and for people that have a certain expectation for the series, kind of like me. When it comes to what it makes a good or bad Call of Duty, to me, it's a mixture of things. It's not just about, like, for me, I'll tell you my definition right now, at this point right now, as I sit here and record this, I'm going to tell you my definition right now. For me, it's not just about the balance and the gameplay anymore. I mean, and I don't mean to sound cocky when I say this at all. But the thing is that, for me, it's got to be just a little bit more than just getting on and casually pounding noobs for hours at a time. Because right now, it's all about, like, you have to give me a reason to grind. There are people out there that are just casual players that also need a reason to grind. I personally know a few people that they're all about the camos, and they can't wait for a new batch of camos to come out, or a new batch of guns, so they can grind and get those camos. Just to name an example. For me personally, it's not just, like, this all started with the whole prestige to level 1000, which satisfied a lot of people, but at the same time, for a lot of people, it's not enough. And I don't necessarily mean that level 1000 isn't enough, because I think most of us could agree that grinding to level 1000 in any flavor Call of Duty is definitely enough in terms of getting to max level. It is a grind, that's for damn sure. But we're not talking about that particular type of grind. We're talking about grinding for something new. And we're talking about just beyond the medals, beyond the nuclears, amount of kills. I mean, there are people out there that get bored and they kind of create their own challenges. Or some people are just creative and just create their own challenges. Or people are just at a skill level that they just challenge themselves and they just end up creating these kind of things. So just to give you an example, like Scump's 70 kill TDM thing. I mean, I'm not implementing necessarily that he was bored and he just created that challenge. But at the same time, it gave you something to grind for, right? I cannot tell you how much of Team Deathmatch I grinded in Black Ops 3 in order to get that 70 kill TDM. That was the biggest reason why I grinded TDM over kill confirmed in free-for-all. By far. Because I really wanted that challenge. I really wanted it badly, and I knew I was capable of getting it. And sometime after the life cycle was over, I was able to get it, which till this day remains one of my highlights, especially from a gameplay perspective that I've been able to achieve. So the thing is that it's things like that and beyond that keep people coming back. Now, for me, again, it goes beyond that. Right now at this point, I just want to keep grinding for guns. I want them to give us guns like they did in Infinite Warfare, and have us grind to get them. Now, I want the grind to be balanced. What I mean by this is, I don't want it to be stupid, ridiculous long in order to get enough salvage to get one weapon. I want it to be balanced. Like, make me feel like I'm grinding, but don't make it so easy that it feels like nothing. And if you are going to make it that easy, then you better put a shit ton of weapons in the game. This is why it's such a shame that I'm not too crazy about Destiny 2, because like with the amount of weapon, if let's put it this way, if COD multiplayer had that many weapons to grind for, I would be sitting here with a smile on my face 24/7 when playing COD, and I'd always have another reason to come back and playing. So to me, it's about the gameplay factor as well as keep giving me a reason to come back beyond the gameplay itself. Because as of right now, I've gotten to a point for me personally that it's not just about coming back to the game and pounding noobs, like I said earlier. I need another incentive. And for me personally, guns, like particularly SMGs and assault rifles, are what do it for me. So, but yeah, and the thing is, when it comes down to this, when it comes down to a game, it's even that plays a difference of what you may consider an overrated or underrated Call of Duty. There's got to be some meat in the bones now, so to speak. So, in your opinion, from your points of view, with your personal tastes, experiences, expectations, whether you're an OG, whether you're a new generation player, no matter what, where do you stand? What is the most underrated Call of Duty, in your humble opinion, and why? Because honestly, if you think about it, this is where I wish that I'm not saying this because I'm like, oh, I just can't wait to get big or anything like that. No, I mean, that will come in due time. But this is where I wish I was already at a size to where maybe a developer would catch this video. Right now, it's very, 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 very low chance that a developer would see this video, right? I mean, granted, they probably have a good idea of what the community wants, believe it or not, but there's a couple things that's kind of getting messed up that kind of gets in the way. Number one, sometimes it's a lack of communication, which I mentioned earlier in the video. Communication is a key to everything. And it's also the fact that, well, quite frankly, Activision sometimes gets in the way, because the thing is, when it comes to corporate interest and art and business and all that kind of stuff, it can really... You guys know where I'm getting with that. And I don't want to switch the subject onto something else. I want to keep it on topic here for this one. But it is what it is, and it is the truth, and things like that do get in the way sometimes in terms of that. But yeah, I really would like to know, especially since communication has been absolutely terrific, which is one of the highlights of each and every one of my days as I continue to create content here on the channel, and you guys being tremendously supportive. I would really like to know, from your point of view, which Call of Duty do you think is the most underrated and why? So yeah, that's basically what I've got here. And the thing is, some Call of Duties in and of, like for instance, like let's say like Black Ops 1, even from a gameplay perspective, games like that were really addictive. I mean, it was just so addictive to get back and to play. So from certain perspectives of what I mentioned, some games I like to just come back and grind and play simply because they just feel so good. It just feels so good to get a kill and repeat that process. But as of right now, as Call of Duty continues to get older and as time goes on, I've started to realize more and more about myself, and that is the fact that, well, on top of the good gameplay, I just need a reason to grind, and that is my reason. So tell me your reasons. I'm very, very curious and eager to know, because everybody has a unique point of view, and at the same time, I could always learn more from different points of view. And I think that's what Call of Duty devs and Activision and stuff like that and other people out there really need to get a grasp of. You need to get as many points of view as possible. You can't just look at a couple of group of people and go off of that. You need to go as wide as possible, so that way you can potentially maximize the amount of people that you can make happy. It's impossible to make everybody happy, or close to impossible, but at least you can work on getting closer. But anyway, that's all I got for this one, guys. Let me know down in the comment section what you think and what your opinions are and what your points of view are. And I can't wait to see what you guys have to say. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.